Hello, humans, and welcome to another episode of Gen X Gamer. The tyrant wants mercy. He's going on a PR tour. Can we forgive Mark Zuckerberg? He's out here with Joe Rogan. He's trying to make all the right moves after the election. Pre-election, these guys already were mining the data, and they knew already who was going to win the election. Make no mistakes. Call it a conspiracy theory if you want, but this is why you are listening to the Outer Realms. Welcome once again. This is your Gen X Gamer talking about this. And being a victim of censorship more than once by these companies, let me tell you, this is no mistake. The reason this man has turned a leaf is because he knows he is facing an opposition now, an opposition that wants retribution. That's right, the party in power has been the party that was censored, that was affected by the censorship going on by all these social media companies. You know, when Elon Musk took over X, it really was a game changer. When he released those files, it was a game changer. Now here he is admitting that they were pressured by the government. Of course, he was in those hearings, but if you look at him in this interview, right, with Joe Rogan, he looks a lot different than when he testified in Congress, right? He was over there looking like a lizard, all pasty white. Now he looks human, right? He's gotten through a whole image change here. But let me tell you, there have been problems besides censorship, besides the whole how they handled the pandemic and the censorship that went on then. They've had other issues, right? They've had other issues. Remember the Cambridge Analytica data scandal? That's right. In 2018, it was revealed that these guys, the Cambridge Analytica, a political consulting firm, had harvested data from up to 87 million Facebook users without their consent. The data was allegedly used to influence voter behavior in political campaigns, including the 2016 presidential election. Let's go back to 2014. In 2014, Facebook conducted a psychological experiment on nearly 700,000 users without their knowledge, manipulating the news feeds to access the impact on their emotions. The study faced significant backlash over ethical concerns. That was back in the day. What else have they done? What about the Frances Hogan whistleblower revelations in 2021? Former Facebook employee Frances Hogan leaked internal documents suggesting that the company prioritized profit over public safety, allegedly ignoring or downplaying issues like misinformation or harmful content. Does it end there? That was just number 3. Of course not. Of course not. Let's go to 2024. Let's go for today, right? In 2024, Meta admitted to using Australian users' public posts, including photos and comments dating back to 2007, to train its AI products without explicit consent from the users. Right? That raises privacy concerns. And of course, what we all know, since the 2016 US elections, Facebook has faced criticism for the role in spreading misinformation and its content moderation policies, mainly silencing critics of the Democratic Party. They were an arm of the Democrat, not to get political here, but all their biases were going one way because all their employees were leftist activists. That's what they were, right? And those are just 5. I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm giving you stuff that's publicly available, okay? And this affected a bunch of gamers because Facebook has just in the realm of gaming, has censored a lot of people, including myself, right? Including myself. When you're a gamer, we went a period through where people could attack us based on their sexuality, and because I'm on YouTube, right, I can't really express everything because I have those constraints on YouTube now. Somebody, because of their sexuality, could attack me. I could disagree with their political beliefs, but because of their sexuality, I would be the one banned, right? I would be the one, quote unquote, as the harasser. It doesn't matter anybody's sexuality. You can have a political discussion. Sexuality does not come into it unless the other person brings it up and says you're being negative because of this issue or that issue, right? And I'm like, no, you're just a communist and I hate communism. You're just a socialist and I hate socialism. Right? It's purely political discussion. But anybody can take anything and make it anything they want, right? And this man right here, he's been at the center of all these controversies, right? And was he doing it himself? And of course not, but he heads the company. The buck stops with him. He knew he was swinging the hammer only one way. He knew he was tipping the scales. He had no problem censoring gamers of faith, traditional, males, families, what have you, religious people, no problems whatsoever. But people on the other side, calling for violence, actually committing violence, doing, other unspeakable things because of their political leanings and sexuality, got to do whatever they wanted. So we're sitting here as punching bags for the last at least 6 years, not being able to defend ourselves. And this guy thinks that he's just going to go on a tour, hire Dana, get on Joe Rogan, right, and hope and pray that there's no retribution with Section 230. This guy was part of the Illuminati back then that was, dominating everybody's public discourse. He was part of the problem. He was one of the pillars. It was Google. It was Facebook. It was Twitter. Those giants were dominating everything. Your freedom of speech, right, was curbed by these three companies, quote unquote, by the government forcing them, but it wasn't all force, right? A lot of it has been disclosed, but you know what? He knows that the day of reckoning is coming. He knows that public hearings are coming. The reason he's doing all this, the reason he's playing Mr. Sunshine, the reason he's going on Joe Rogan and all these podcasts is because he knows that he's standing to lose billions of dollars with the new administration. That his powers, his influence could be curbed. Now he has to curry favor with the powers that be. Don't make any mistake. These people do not want any change. As soon as another administration comes in, this guy's going to flip to them. And whatever issues we had before, we're going to have them again. And it doesn't matter because it's about the money. And for this guy, it's even more. It's about power. Don't let this new face fool you. These companies are all the same. Power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. And when people become corrupted, the one thing I can tell you is that there is one thing they do not share, and that is power. Be very vigilant. Make sure that you let your representatives know that you want your rights defended, your freedom of speech defended, that you don't want the government using these entities to censor your speech. Because that's what's happening to all of us. It's still happening right now. Right? This platform and other platforms are being pressured by our government and other governments in order to censor what we can and cannot say. I've been a victim of it. A lot of people out there have been victims of it. Some people lost their jobs. Some people can't get jobs anymore. Right? Some people were kicked out of work. I mean, this is ridiculous. People are going to jail right now in England for posting on Facebook. Why? It is nuts. And this guy thinks he's just going to go on Joe Rogan, say a few jokes, and everything's going to be okay. And you know what? He actually played Rogan on this one, and I don't know how much they agreed to on how deep they can go. But let me tell you something. One smart thing that this guy did, he controlled the conversation. He got Joe Rogan to talk about things that Joe Rogan loves about. So Joe Rogan was just spitting, talking about bows and, martial arts and stuff and this and that and the other. And I'm not listening to this particular show to listen to Joe Rogan's things that he's talked about 100,000 times. I'm here to listen to this fool try to explain himself to the nation about what he did to all of us during all those years. There's something amiss here, guys. This is a club and we are not part of it. Not at all. Not even close. The only thing these guys fear is our vote. That's why they try to influence elections. Make sure you keep at least that one freedom, because it's all we have. Am I going to forgive them? No. Do we have to use his platforms? Of course. That's how we make a living. But hopefully this new administration will do some things to curb these people's thirst for power. All right, human, thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, humans, on the Outer Realms. This is the area where we talk about things that affect us as gamers, like censorship, for example, and other related things in social media, right? The things that are in the borderlines, over there in outer space, in the outer realms of video games. That is the subject matter of this podcast, and I thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for listening to my little conspiracy cast here. And I will catch you on the next one. Remember, like and subscribe. It really helps. Let me know what you think. Were you censored? I sure was. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.
New videos every Monday and Sunday. Thank you for joining me on another episode of the Gen X Gamer. Remember to like and subscribe, click that notification bell, and remember, never ever be afraid to be happy. I'll catch you on the next one. Take care.